Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to discuss about yellow fever. Yellow fever, a disease caused by a virus, and it's transmitted through mosquito. So the disease is not prevalent in our country yet, but high potentiality to develop the disease in our country because the host and environment both are susceptible to develop the disease, but agent is missing. So on that day the agent will be available here, the disease might be appear in Indian continent also. So what is yellow fever actually? Yellow fever usually a zoonotic disease caused by an arbovirus, and monkey act as a reservoir for that virus. When we are discussing about this zoonotic disease, we have to understand how the disease is transmitted actually. The disease is transmitted. The disease is transmitted from human to human or accidentally monkey to human through the mosquito. So basically it's a mosquito-borne viral disease predominantly and usually found in tropical and subtropical areas. It can occur in males and females of any age, so everyone is susceptible. And the Aedes aegypti is the mosquito that is known to carry the virus. So Aedes aegypti is the responsible vector. All of you know that dengue is a similar type of viral disease that is also transmitted by Aedes aegypti. So the which parts of the country world are mainly affected? Usually the African countries and American countries are affected more here. So you can see that which parts are mainly affected: the South American countries and African countries. So there are no green zone, affected area zone in the India. Among the Flaviviridae family, arbovirus, it is belong to the arbovirus, and among the other arboviral diseases, yellow fever containing the similar type of symptoms, just like the jaundice, as they are belong to the genera of Flavivirus. So if we go through the structure of the virus, it looks like RNA containing virus surrounded by a capsid protein, and it's surrounded by M protein and enveloped dimer. So this is the structure of the virus. If we want to assess the risk factors of yellow fever of a country, then we have to assess it in three parts: virus circulation, distribution, and ecological factors. Virus circulation means in human, non-human, primates, and mosquitoes. So for the complete the chain, so you need the susceptible population, that's in the human. So obviously all the humans who are present in the country, they are susceptible. Mainly the reservoir, that is the primates or monkey or lesser species, that is also present in India. And mosquito, specifically the Aedes mosquito, who act as a vector in that case, that must be present. If all the members of this chain are present, then the country is susceptible to develop the yellow fever. Then distribution of host and vectors, the proportion of the host and vectors and their interaction, that is most important. And ecological factor, just like the vegetation, rainfall, elevation, and temperature, these factors determine the growth of the mosquito and transmission of the disease. Also the mosquito determine how many people will come to contact with them, exposed to the mosquitoes, and they will be infected by the yellow virus containing mosquito, and further human to human transmission will occur. So these three factors we have to assess the risk assessment of a country for the yellow fever. There are two cycles actually present simultaneously. One is the Sylvan cycle and another is the Urban cycle. Sylvan cycle means it going through from monkey to monkey, usually within the forest area, and it either monkey to monkey transmitted through mosquito or through bite. Accidentally from monkey to human, it can be transmitted through the mosquito bite, or human to human transmission always occurs through the mosquito bite. So there are other routes also that will be discussed later. In case of urban cycle, usually the outbreaks and epidemics occur when mosquito bite one human to another human and the transmission cycle is going on. In that way, usually the outbreak and epidemics occur, because in that way the most peoples are affected. But some cases may be transmitted through the coughing, sneezing and breathing or hand shaking. So this is the other route of transmission, but it's not well established route, but it is another route of transmission. Another way, if people who died from the yellow fever were thrown out on the street, this made the city even more contaminated and more people were likely to get ill. So that is the rarest situation. In the sylvatic cycle, the disease is actually transmitted among the primates of monkeys. The starts when the mosquito bites a monkey and starts to spread, but not only the mosquito bite, when monkey bite to the another monkey, in that way also transmitted from one monkey to another monkey. So usually the sylvatic cycle limited within the monkeys, but accidentally sometime if anyone go to the jungle for the travel or come to the contact with this type of monkeys, they may be infected from the monkey through the mosquito bite. So what are the symptoms actually? The incubation period of the disease is 3 to 6 days. After the 3 to 6 days, symptoms start to arise. Just see the phase 1, that is present 3 to 4 days prolonged. The symptoms are like fever, headache, vomiting and loss of appetite, just like the other viral illness, viral fever. After 4 days, the disease, most patient improves and symptoms disappear. But someone, the symptoms going to worse and presented with persistent fever and bleeding mouth or nose or eyes or stomach, and persistent vomiting and sometimes abdominal pains, renal functions start to deteriorate and jaundice may appear. So these symptoms appear in the phase 2 actually. So I am just repeating the symptoms again. The according to stage, in the first stage they present with the high fever, just like the 104 degrees Fahrenheit, headache, dizziness. Sometimes children present with the seizures, the febrile seizures, pain in neck, back and legs, vomiting, yellowish eyes, bloody nose and gums. In the second stage or recovery stage, after 3 days of the fever, symptoms may get better, which begins the second stage. The new symptoms might be if patient is not cured, the symptoms might be the origin, just like the continuous bleeding from the nose, gums and other orifices, confusion, starting to develop the anuria, complete stop of the production of urine. In the third stage is a toxic phase, when fever returns. Other symptoms, the remarkable jaundice is present in that case, continued the nose bleeding, heart damage, blood vomiting, coma. Sometimes organ will be involved, the liver, kidney, lungs and other organs may be involved. Kidney failure is the commonest symptom. Acute tubular necrosis may happen in different way. So very simply, in the first stage, the common viral fever-like symptoms is present. Within the 3 to 4 days, the symptoms going to recover in the most of the cases. and if they are not going to recovery phase, then symptoms going to exaggerated, continuous bleeding, vomiting, confusion, anuria start to develop, jaundice starting to the bilirubin level going to higher, and the organs starting to involve from liver, kidney, lungs, and ultimately patient develop going to the coma. Usually the kidney affects more. In different way kidney is affected. Due to the hyperbilirubinemia, tubular toxicity may happen. Due to the rhabdomyolysis, the acute tubular necrosis may happen. Due to continuous vomiting, dehydration, or other source of internal hemorrhage, intravascular coagulation, hypovolemia may occur, and that may lead to the acute tubular necrosis. Sometimes direct viral infection produces cytokines, and that release cytokines causing the inflammation, and that may cause glomerulonephritis and interstitial nephritis, and ultimately lead to the acute tubular necrosis or acute kidney injury. So how the disease can be diagnosed? It can be diagnosed clinically, mainly the exposure history. Usually you have to investigate his travel history. Is the patient is coming from an endemic disease in an endemic zone or not? Then you have to go for the advanced diagnostic test, just like the virus isolation through culture, and rapid diagnostic test, just polymerase chain reaction, may not be positive late in the disease. It shows the positive result in the early stage. And antibody or antigen detection test, IgM for acute phase and coupled with convalescent antibodies. Sometimes neutralization and antibody are more specific for yellow fever. So this test is the options that you can diagnose it. What is the treatment? Treatment is mostly symptomatic, so patient should be hospitalized for supportive care and close observation. Supportive the rest, fluids, and use of pain relievers and medication to reduce fever may relieve symptoms of aching and fever. So yellow fever patient should be protected from further mosquito exposure for up to 5 days after the onset of fever. So why is that? Actually, the infectivity of a patient persisted 3 to 4 days after the developing of fever. So you have to reduce the infectivity within the community, and that is also part of the treatment. So you have to keep the patient in that way after developing the fever. During the 5 days, they have to keep away from the exposure of mosquito, and the supportive measures should be going on, and according to the development of complication, medical treatment should be given, should be offered. So vaccination. What is the role of vaccination actually? Usually the getting of vaccination, its immunity passes 35 years. Usually the live attenuated vaccine is available. The vaccine contains the 70D vaccine. It's called the 70D vaccine. It's usually given subcutaneously 0.5 ml, and immunity develops after 7th day, and it lasts up to 35 years. But if anyone traveling in the endemic zones and coming back to the country where the yellow fever is not present, in that case the traveler must take the yellow fever vaccine, and that should be mentioned in the international certificates, and that vaccine should be taken every 10 years. Though the immunity passes for 35 years, for the international travelers, their vaccine should be taken every 10 years. So this is the form for the international travelers, and that certify he is getting the vaccine of yellow fever and not. It's actually written in the some another language, probably in the South American language. So yellow fever validity of vaccine: primary vaccination certificate valid for 10 years beginning 10 days after primary vaccination. So this is the criteria actually certification. When the vaccination is given, after 10 days the validity will be started for the effect of the vaccine will be started, and that will be persist the next 10 years, and that should be renewed if person is traveling again and again internationally, and the all over the world, the countries where the disease is not prevailing, they are maintaining it is that way. The disease still limited within the South American countries and African countries. In that way, the disease is prevented to some extent. So before the ending, I just want to say another thing, that is if anyone by any aircraft or any ship is coming from an endemic disease area, that ship or aircraft should be sterilized or through aerosols through particular measures, that spraying of insecticides to limit the mosquito vector control, and the port surrounding the port 400 meters area should be taking specific measures to control the vector, specifically Aedes aegypti vectors, and the Aedes aegypti index should be kept below 1 in that area. So in that way we can prevent the entry of yellow fever within our country. So thank you for all for today, and stay well. Thank you.